The UK, Germany, and France created a new payments framework to enable Europe business community to trading in Iran out of declining filthy of US sanctions regime. All three opposed recent year's judgment by CEO Donald Trump card to leave a 2015 transactions by that world sanctions regime on Iran were raised. Several of the US sanctions regime do it hard for Europe banks to do straight payments to Iran. The US told sanctionable operation in Iran risked harsh ensuing consequences. By creation a new fee canal, relying in Paris, and controlled by a Deutsche investment banker, the UK, France, and Germany expect to allow companies to go on to trading in Iran. Some current fee channels include links to the US, that tool manufacturing payments to Iran is hard. Overseas Secretariat Jeremy Search told initially the new fee framework would just use to meal, pharmaceutical, and consumer goods, that are not object to sanctions regime. Petroleum, Iran's major resource of overseas exchanging, will not be coded. In a declaration, the U.S. legation in Berlin told, as the CEO has done precise, entities how go on to attract in sanctionable operation comprising Iran hazard harsh ensuing consequences how could involve loser accessing to the U.S. finance framework and the capacity to do industry in the joint state or U.S. companies. Yet, it added it did not wait the new payments framework would in any way affect our maximal economical blood pressure campaigning versus Iran. In 2015, Iran recognized curbs on its nuke program in back for the lift of sanctions regime. Yet, recent November the US restored all its sanctions regime on Iran. The White's building told it was this hardest sanctions regime mode always superimposed on Tehran, targeting Iran and state how trading in it. On Thursday Mr. Search told INSTEX was portion of Europe efforts to retain and supporting the Iran nuke transactions and retain sanctions regime ease for the human beings of Iran. The is a precise, pragmatic demonstrate how we stay solidly devoted to the historical 2015 nuke transactions affected in Iran, the collaborative inclusive schedule of activity, for as length as Iran keeps performing it completely, he added. He told more than job necessary to be made to get the framework up and fleeing, how includes job in Iran to set the required copy structures. Over the monthly the EU announced crisp sanctions regime on a block of the Iran intellect agent and 2 individuals above estimated murder intrigue. The EU charged them of trying, or transport of, attacks during several Europe countries. Talk at a meet of EU overseas ministers in Bucharest. Mr. Search told the Iran nuke transactions remained center to world efforts to stop nuke dissemination and is key for the safety of the area. Yet we are precise, the obligation does not in any way prevent us of address Iran's enemy and destabilizing activities, he added.